You're having a super fantastic sparkling day. Welcome to Porchlight Letters podcast number 2195. There we go. Tonight we are on to episode 2 of The Shape of Grief. We actually started off last night when I was talking about bringing Zeffie home, bringing her paw print home. I don't have it in here with me. It is safe in another room. My desk is a little bit of a mess and I don't want it getting damaged. So last night we started off the Shape of Grief with our episode last night of bringing Zeffie's paw print home. And tonight we're on to episode 2. So this one's going to have 6 episodes. Let's see, we're up to 295. So this one is Grief is a Time Traveler. You ever thought about that? And I thought, yeah, it kind of is, isn't it? So grief doesn't follow a calendar. It bends time, rewinds memories, and skips forward to moments you thought you were ready for. One song, one smell, one glance, and suddenly you're back in a moment you thought you'd left behind. Grief is a time traveler, and it carries us with it. It teaches us that grief moves through past, present, and future, often without warning. And those of you who have grieved the loss of a loved one, the loss of a pet, you know how random grief can be. We don't just grieve what happened, but what could have been. Anniversaries and random Tuesdays can feel the same when grief time travels. The heart doesn't forget. It revisits what matters often when we least expect it. Yes, and I will tell you, Brad had a favorite fragrance, cologne that he liked to wear. I found a bottle of it one day and I thought, oh, I didn't realize I still had a bottle. I've actually now found 3 of the bottle of this cologne. And so I took the top off and sniffed, and the next thing I knew, I'm sitting there on the floor of the closet, tears pouring down my face. It triggered me immediately. No warning. I thought I was safe now because this was like 5 years after Brad had passed. I thought I was safe from that. No. It just hit me out of and it was just something random like, oh, I haven't smelled it for a long time. Let me smell it again, because I always loved this particular cologne on him. And the second I did that, took that little whiff, boom, tears were there. I was a mess. I was just a mess on the floor. That wasn't going to go anywhere. So what happens when a scent, sound, or photo pulls you back into a memory? You find yourself anticipating moments with someone who's gone. You cry at a moment of joy because they aren't there to witness it. You feel like time has folded in on itself, yesterday, today, tomorrow, all at once. We carry it forward by allowing ourselves to ride the wave when grief bends time. Create rituals that help ground you back in the present. Speak their name. Let their memory live in your today. Don't rush to move on. Let yourself move with instead. I have done that many, many, many times. This next month, it'll be 8 years since Brad passed. It'll be 8 years since Gus passed, because Gus went 18 days before Brad did. And those that don't know, Gus was our dog before Zeffie. And I got Zeffie 2 years. Let's see. Gus went in September of 2017, and I got Zeffie in November of 2019. You can do the math. But Gus, we got him in December 4th of 2004 is when we got him. And our previous dog, Bear, had passed on September 17th of 2004. I don't know what it is about September. So I've had 2 dogs and a husband pass in September. Thankfully, Zeffie didn't add to that number. She went in July. So that was okay. She was doing her own thing, and I'm thankful for that. But I often, if I get caught in a memory, I will start talking to that person or that dog that memory is bringing up. And there was a few months ago, back in January, February, when we first learned about Zeffie's condition and stuff and started dealing with it, that I just had a hankering that I just wanted to talk to my dad's mum and dad, my grandparents, grandma and granddad. I just wanted to talk to them. And I found myself like every day just thinking about them, reliving memories of them. And they've both been gone a number of years now. I mean, we're talking double digits. My grandfather went in 86 and Grandma went in. I was living here in the States. It was I think like 2001, 2002. So they've been gone a good number of years, but all of a sudden I had this urge that I needed to talk to them. And I was taken back to memories in my childhood of times I got to spend with them, things we got to do together. I was always in the kitchen helping Grandma cook and bake, especially bake. She was a good baker. She taught me to crack 2 eggs at once, which I thought was a really cool skill to learn. Granddad had the best imagination when it came to storytelling. He wouldn't tell us anything about his time in World War II, but if you wanted to hear a story, you just said, Granddad, can you tell us a story? And he would quite happily gather all the kids. All the kids would come and gather around him, the grandkids, and we would sit there and just listen to these stories that he would tell us. And sometimes he would purposely fall asleep, and the only way to get him to tell the story again was to give him a kiss on the cheek. That would wake him up and give him energy to go again until he faded away again. But, just those stories and the memories and being able to live those. And so there was this big area like January, February, and March, I was talking to them constantly. And I was like, what the heck is going on? Why am I so interested in talking to my grandparents all of a sudden? Yes, they've been gone for, over 20 years. One, coming up on 40 years. And I'm like, why am I wanting to talk to them so much? But I don't know why. But there is some reason for that. I don't know what it is. But I just had this, I guess I was just missing them so much. With Brad, that's almost a daily thing. Almost a daily thing. There's little things that'll come up that will take me back in memories with him. Some of them are good, some of them not so good. Just some of the interactions that we had, some of the adventures that we had. Some went very well, some didn't go very well. So you get taken back in time with those. It could be seeing a photograph and you're suddenly transported back to Prague. There's a really cool photograph of the two of us with our cheeks squished together, and we're freezing cold. We're in the Christmas market in Prague. We're a block from the Intercontinental Hotel in downtown Prague there, and we're just having the best time. We're at the Christmas market. We're watching all the locals in there. There's a whole bunch of booths open that weren't open in the day when we were there. And we'd made the mistake of having dinner at the hotel because we did not know that there would be so many food vendors with stalls open when we got down there. But we did have dessert there. So we did do that. But we had the best time on that trip. And I got really sick with the 24-hour stomach flu. Brad never, he was fine. He was fine, the whole thing. And we found this a lot, that there was a lot of the couples that were on board, one would get sick, the other one would be totally fine. Even in the crew, they were experiencing that as well. One of our waiters, his wife, who also worked on the river cruise ship with him, she had come down with the 24-hour stomach flu. And yes, they did prove it was a 24-hour stomach flu that was going through the riverboat, but about half the passengers came down with it, and half the passengers and crew came down with it. It was wild. But, there's times the body needs rest, and it makes you rest in a way that you don't anticipate. But the grief, there's times as memories come back. Sometimes the memories come back with a lot of emotions, and sometimes they come back and you're okay. You're okay with them. You're not a pile of goo on the floor having a meltdown. You are fine. You are carrying on. I often talk to my dogs. I talk to my husband. Yes. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I say it's a good thing. And I often ask their opinions. Every day I go and check the housing situation in New Zealand near where my parents live to see if there's any properties that have come on that might be a good place. And I ask my husband, how's this one? This one looks pretty cool. I like this and I like that about this, and going through the photographs and where it is and locations and all that sort of stuff. I'm like, wonder what that area is like. And then this little voice will go, ask your mum and dad. They'll tell you what that area is like. Yeah. So I use him when I'm working, even when I'm sitting here working on stuff, on business stuff and all that. I will often ask him for his opinion on things. And if I get a sign, then I'm on the right path. If I don't get a sign, I've got to rethink things. Yes. Simple as that. So your legacy connection, the people and the pets we've lost aren't locked in one moment. They are part of many, and they walk with us as we carry them into each new chapter. Grief isn't always about letting go. It's often about learning how to hold on differently. And we have four reflection questions for you to go in your Porchlight Reflection Journal. By the end of this week, we should have some of the different volumes out. I am planning on having all 14 volumes uploaded by the end of this week. That is my plan. And we're moving through them. We've got 4 ready to go now. I think it's 4 that's ready to go now. So we might upload them first and then do the next 4 and upload them. And then I don't know. I haven't figured out if I'm going to do all 14 at once or just do them in batches as we go through the week and get groups of them fixed. But those journals are coming with the questions so these reflection questions will appear in volume 15 of The Shape of Grief. These ones that we're asking you this week, they'll appear there. If they don't equal 21, then we're making up a couple of other questions to bring it to 21. So you've always got 21 questions in your Porchlight. So the journals will always be this size, this thickness, same number of pages. The only thing we're changing in them is the blurb on the back. And on the front, we're putting the title and the volume. We're also putting the title and the volume up here. And on the welcome page where it says, welcome to your Porchlight Reflection Journal, underneath we're putting what the volume number is and the topic. And the QR code has been changed out and will take you to the playlist that all of these episodes that are mentioned, that are all the questions that are in here, will take you to the playlist from that week. So, if it says volume 14, which last week was keep showing up, then this QR code will take you to the playlist for volume 14 episodes. So, and that's the other change that we're making. I think everything else is pretty much the same. And then the only other change we're making outside of that is these thoughts to reflect on. We're changing those questions. We're changing those out to be the reflection questions from each episode. So anyway, your questions, your reflection questions, which are also in the description below. Number 1, when has a memory caught you by surprise and pulled you into the past? Oh, that happens a lot with me. Number 2, how does grief show up in your present moments? Number 3, what helps you stay grounded when emotions time travel? And number 4, what part of your loved one do you still carry with you every day? And in closing, grief may time travel, but you don't have to be lost in it. Feel it, honor it, and remember, the love that remains is always worth the journey. And with that, we are out of here. Go out, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening. We'll catch you guys back here tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific.